everybody doing today? I am driving right now to the print shop. This is a board game update. We are almost done with this board game. As you guys know, this is all I've been working on. So trying to get everything done. It's just taking a really long time to create a trivia board game. If you could imagine how long it takes to create a game that's based on trivia from the Constitution. The way the game works, the inner workings of the board game is going to make it so that you can actually learn history. So happy Saturday, everybody. If you do me a favor, hit the like button and then put in the comment section OTVO, which stands for Overturn Terry versus Ohio. If you would, pretty please, with sugars and cherries on top. We don't stop. Just wait. Just wait. We haven't even begun. We haven't even begun. I know that I'm not here on the YouTubes right now very much, but I am coming back with a vengeance. Just hold on tight. Hold on tight. I haven't been doing all this work on the back end just so that, you know, we wouldn't rise up like a phoenix from the ashes and change the whole game. That's the whole point. There's no point in doing anything. I was talking to a friend last night on the phone, and I was telling the friend, I said, listen, it's Friday night. I want to go out and film cops. You know, that's what I want to do. I want to go out and film cops. That's what I do. I can't see any of the live chat, so I don't know if you guys are chatting or not, but if you would please put in the comment section OTVO, Overturn Terry versus Ohio. Put in the comment section for me. What's up, Playboy? What's going on out there? Happy Saturday afternoon to everybody. What is going on? Oh, I got a couple people. I can't see the screen very well. But you shall see. You shall see. I'm heading to the print shop now. I'm going over to get the printouts for the wall to teach the board game, Constitution Headquarters. I cannot wait to get this done. I really can't wait. I'm so excited. You have no idea. I can't wait. I cannot wait. But I wanted to check in with everybody and let you guys know this is what I'm doing right now. I'm working on this mother truckin' board game. It has taken months and months and months, and we are still not 100% done. It's still not completed. So it's like, who's in the room? I can't see. I gotta put my glasses on if I'm gonna see what's going on. What, can you sound off? Let me know who's in here. Say hello if you would. Say hello if you would, pretty please, with sugar and cherry on top. There it is. There it is. Aaron, what's going on? How you doing, man? Brent, what's going on, my friend? What is going on, Couch Fan? Is that Couch Fan? Is that what that says? What's going on, Couch Fan? What is going on with the Playboy? What is going on? Good to see everybody, man. Good to see everybody. Good to see everybody. I just wanted to check in with everybody and let everybody know what I'm doing. I'm still working on the board game. Otherwise, I would be on YouTube's and I would be reviewing cop videos, and there's just so many cop videos to review, isn't there? It's every single day there's a new cop video to review. It's every day, non-stop cop video to review. And I haven't been doing it because I want to finish this board game, because it'll teach people their rights, and then they'll understand the reason why First Amendment auditors are so important out in the world. If you don't know your rights, then how can you stand on your rights? And especially the auditor's pack that I've created of constitutional case law that every single First Amendment auditor absolutely has to know. If you don't know the case law that I'm teaching in the board game, Constitution Headquarters, then really, rising tides, what's up, Playboy? What's going on with the Playboy? Just wait, just wait. Especially when we start back on TikTok, Rick Rock, and I'm teaching on TikTok. Oh man. When you teach people stuff on TikTok, they come in the thousands, and they come quick. They come really fast. That's originally how I built up my own social media profile. If you guys don't know the story, in 2020, when the pandemic was set upon us, I was stuck in an office building with Jeff and Lloyd. And so I had this office space there, but I didn't, there was nothing to do. You couldn't do anything, especially in California. They had locked us down so badly. They had locked us down here in California so bad that I'm not gonna be able to see you guys on the chat, but I can't drive with my reading glasses on either. So they had locked us down in California so bad that what I did is I put all of the case law that I knew off the top of my head and all the constitutional law that I knew off the top of my head, I just threw it on a wall. I just put it up in little pieces. And then I put up the prison graph and I put the lynching graph up on the wall. And I think the first or second video that I made got 1 million views, and then it was just off to the races. So then I've just been, ever since then, I've been doing the same thing over and over and over and over. But now I want to create new ways. Rising tides, what's up, Playboy? I can't see what you wrote there, or I would read it out loud. Let me see, I'll put my glasses on for you. Thanks for the super chats, brother. I really appreciate it. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. Been so busy when the weather warms up. Right on. Rising tides with a couple super chats, man. Dude, thanks so much. Thanks so much. I appreciate it. We don't stop. We will not stop. Listen, I know that I'm not here right now on YouTube working, and the editor is cutting some old videos and kind of repurposing stuff and putting things together. But it's only because there's a bigger outcome here. There's a bigger thing that we're doing. And that's really truly what I'm focused on, is the bigger thing that we're doing. And as you guys know, my car is hands-free. I don't have to touch the wheel. I don't have to touch the speedometer. So I'm perfectly safe and fine. There's a sensor in the front of the car that slows down and speeds up. I don't have to hit the gas or the brake. It does it all for me. So yeah, what is going on? Super appreciate you guys, man. I'm glad you guys came. And plus, this gives us all an opportunity to get together for a minute. Just for a minute more, we can all get together and say hello to one another. And I love it. I miss you guys. I miss talking to you guys. I really do. I really miss being online as much as I was previously. But when the game is done, you guys are gonna get sick of me, because I'll be going live constantly, regularly. 2 or 3 times a day, I'll be doing a live stream to teach the wall, to teach the Constitution headquarters, the game that I've built over the last 6 months. This game has taken so long because there's so much detail and intricacy to teaching the history of the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, the articles of the Constitution, the presidents, the vice presidents, innovations, Supreme Court justices, Supreme Court case law. You're gonna learn so much through my board game. You will learn so much. It'll really change the game for you if you wanted to know and learn your rights. What I've created will help you so much, I promise. Or why would I do it? Why would I leave a channel that's got hundreds of thousands of subscribers and stop going live and stop filming cops and stop reviewing videos? Why would I do that? How come? I would do it because there's a bigger pot of gold at the end of the rainbow for all of us involved. For every single person who wants to learn about their constitutional rights, you're going to be able to through this board game. And there's the home edition that I put up for pre-sale now. It's on DeleteLawz.com. And then there's a teacher's edition where you can put the teacher's edition in classrooms all across America. And I know that. I know what's about to happen. You know, I have friends and family and people who love me who are like, oh, Chille, you gotta work on your channel. You gotta get more views. You gotta go live more. You gotta go audit cops. And I tell them, I've already done that. And the game that I created to teach people is gonna help more people than me going live and filming a cop. The website that we put together to get people out of jail is going to go so much further than me going live and reviewing a video of someone being pulled over. So I know a lot of you guys are like, what are you doing? You know, why aren't you going live? And people will send me emails and comments and say, oh, Chille, your channel's dying. I'm not even trying. I'm not trying. Just wait. Just wait. Wait till I try again. BZ Watchdog, what's up with the Playboy? You know, I'm helping out people on the side here. And right now, we are currently helping an absolute ton of people. I've put together a little team on the back end here. There's a little team of people. If you're really good at ChatGPT, if you're really good at DeepSeek, if you're really good at using Grok, you should contact me and join the AI team that I've created here on the back end that nobody knows what we're doing. But I have created a little AI team on the back end where we're using artificial intelligence to draft stuff up. And we're not doing any kind of legal work for anybody. We're artificial intelligence tutors. And there's a team of us. And what takes me 15, 20 minutes in my day completely and utterly changes the lives of other people. It makes their life so much easier. I can write a demand for body camera footage. I can write Overland? No, I don't think, not Overland. I'm checking my map here. What is going on? 31 months? Who's been a member for 31 months? Rights On's been a member for 31 months. What's up, Playboy? What's up, Rights On? Rights On's been a member for 31 months, and we don't stop. Rights On knows what I've created. He knows what I've invented. It's going to be way bigger than me, way bigger than what we're doing here. It'll make it so that you don't have to fear being arrested and going to jail. You don't have to be afraid of that anymore, because now there's a way to get you out of that dungeon. It's really revolutionary, and it's gonna oh, dumb, stupid, dumb California driver, you frickin' moron. You are so dumb, dude. Why would you do that? Sorry about that. Some guy drove like a total, complete, and utter moron. Utter moron. Yeah, Maxim, I heard your story of how you got the SHOT by the I think it was Massachusetts police. I'm pretty sure. Man, that's a horrible story, dude. That's one hell of a story. But I want to stay focused. Listen, this is an update for the board game. If you pre-ordered the board game, that's all I'm working on. So I know that a bunch of you in here have pre-ordered my board game on DeleteLawz.com. That's all I'm doing. I'm going to the print shop now to print out the stuff that has to go on the wall to teach the board game. And hopefully this Tuesday, Wednesday, I should be going down here with the final pieces of the board game to get them printed out, and I'll give you an ETA of when I'll be sending out that board game. So if you know of anybody else who's also pre-ordered that board game, let them know to watch this video, because it will be coming out in the next, I would say, 2 weeks, maybe 3 at the most. But we should have it ready to go by May 1st. We should have that board game ready to go by May 1st. I know it will be mostly 99% done coming up this Tuesday, Wednesday. And then after that, how long does it take to print out, and how many copies of the game do I need to print? There's just so many details. And I've got some really good news. One of our team members that just recently had a huge win in court. I want to speak to that individual. I want to speak to that gentleman before I make any announcements. And I think Let's OTBO, you're in the chat. I see you there. Been a member for over a year. What's up, Playboy? I will give you a call, Let's OTBO, as soon as I finish at this print shop. So last night, all I did was grind through the night. I got like 4 hours sleep, woke up, started working again. I am really, honestly, I'm on fire. I'm on fire. I'm so dialed in and laser beam focused on what we're doing. You have no idea. I am in fuego. I would stop, drop, and roll, but I don't want to lose the heat. What is going on? What is going on? How is everybody? Can everybody hit the like button? Can everybody take your finger and hit the like button, or double tap on your screen? Just go pop up, double tap on your screen, hit the like button. Take your thumb and double tap on your screen as fast as you can, and that will hit the like button for me. Pretty please with Sherry's on top. And then put in the comment section, what's up, Playboy? Oh man. Things are good, baby. Things are good. We got this much more to go. We have this much more to go. And the board game is freaking done. The board game is finally this to go. And we are almost freaking done. I love you guys, man. I love you too, buddy. I see it. I can see the text once in a while. I'm driving with my reading glasses on, but so be it. So be it. I would rather be able to see you guys and see who's in the chat from Team DLZ. If you're a member of Team DLZ, put it in the comment section. Team DLZ, if you would, pretty please, with sugar and cherries on top. You know, I'm still kind of pissed off about that video that we saw out of Mansfield, Ohio, where they went on that guy's porch and they grabbed him and arrested him. And then Mansfield, Ohio Police Department released a statement saying that we don't know all the details of what happened in the case. Yeah, we saw what happened. We saw you go up on a guy's porch in a robe, who went out on his porch to smoke, and you guys attacked him. That's what we saw you do in Mansfield, Ohio. But Mansfield, Ohio is in general a total and complete police state. It's a total police state. So it's like, how do we make it better? And then they're gonna elect a hardcore right-wing Republican, that Vivek guy. Man, I really hope that you in Ohio do not elect a Republican, because as we can see from these dumb publicans in office now, they are bootlicking cop suckers. It's the worst I've ever seen. And I'm 50 years old. This is the worst I've ever seen in this country of bootlicking. And then that fraud Kash Patel and the fraud Pam Bondi. There's Dan Bongino. Oh my God, those people are such, and even if you're a Trumper, you know as well as I do, Kash Patel, Dan Bongino, and Pam Bondi are complete and total liars. They're complete fraud. I mean, let me know if you agree or you don't agree. They are complete liars. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Am I wrong? I'm walking here. I'm walking. I am not afraid. I am not afraid at all whatsoever. We don't stop. We're not going to stop. I talked to a friend the other day, good friend of mine, really good friend. He makes YouTube videos, and he gave me a call the other night, and he was struggling. You know, he had the struggle in his chest and his heart, and he was going through it when I talked to him on the phone. And I listened to him for about 10 minutes straight, where he was just telling me how hard things were for him right now, and how he was struggling with a few things in life. And I heard him out. And then I said to him, you know, my friend, you know how I say we don't stop? I said, it's not just a slogan. I'm not just saying we don't stop, you know, because it's just something cool to say. I'm saying we don't stop because it doesn't matter which facet of your life that you are dealing with, whether that be your job, your kids, your husband or wife, your boyfriend or girlfriend, whether it be money problems, whether it be just, you know, just waking up in the morning, just trying to get yourself going sometimes is so extraordinarily hard. Put a 1 in the chat if you agree with that. Some days when you wake up just to get yourself out of bed, and how many of us hit the snooze button, right? How many of us hit the snooze button over and over because I just don't want to wake up today because today is so freaking hard. I know that I got to deal with this thing and then my job and then some people putting pressure on me and then I've got to finish this. And you go through this all the time. I got to go to the gym today. I don't want to go to the gym. I'm sore. I don't want to work out. I got to deal with my girlfriend. I got to deal with my wife. I got to deal with my kids. I got to deal with the lawn. I got to deal with my dog. And so you take that slogan, you take those words, we don't stop, and you apply them to every single facet of your life. It's not just a slogan of we don't stop fighting for our constitutional rights. We don't stop fighting against this police state, prison state, carceral death state. It's not just that. We don't stop applies to every single aspect of your life. What's going on, Let's OTVO? What's up, Playboy? I can't wait to talk to you, man. I'll give you a call when I leave the print shop. But you take the slogan, you take the terminology, we don't stop. And I want you to try this, okay? The next time you wake up in the morning and you don't want to get up out of bed, the next time you deal with someone and you don't want to deal with them, the next time you're facing financial issues that are overwhelming and difficult, I want you to say the words, we don't stop. We don't stop. And just repeat it to yourself again and again and again. And believe in yourself. Believe that you will get up. That I will get up from this position and I will persevere because I don't stop. And I never will. You can't talk me out of stopping. People will leave comments in my comment section. Oh, Chille, it looks like you stopped. It looks like you quit. People in the chat, there's several people in this chat I'm working with now. Oh, by the way, special happy birthday to April Rain, everybody. Is she in the chat? April Rain, happy birthday, love. I didn't see Alpha Team DLZ in here yet, but I think he's going to show up. I haven't seen Team DLZ, and I haven't seen OTVO. Oh, I saw Let's OTVO in here. Happy birthday, April. Happy birthday, April Rain, everybody. We don't stop, man. And I was telling, so my buddy who I talked to on the phone, who makes YouTube videos, when I was talking to him and he was going through this really, really dark, difficult place, I said to him, listen, I want you to take that slogan, we don't stop. I want you to take that tagline and I want you to apply it to your morning. When you wake up tomorrow morning and you're laying there and you're like, oh fudge, today's gonna be such a difficult day. I gotta deal with this, I gotta deal with that, I gotta pay this bill, I gotta talk to this person, I have this meeting, and you're laying there in bed. I want you to say to yourself, we don't stop. We don't stop. Under any circumstances, under any conditions, we don't stop. Take a look at my hat. You see the sweat in the brim of my hat? You know why there's a stain of sweat in my hat? Because we don't stop. We don't ever stop. You can't ever give up. Never, ever, ever give up. No matter what occurs, do not give up. Keep fighting, keep believing. You know, let me give you a simple analogy. If you ever seen someone and their car broke down on the side of the road and you see someone, so just picture it. You're driving down the road and you look over and you see that someone's car has broken down on the side of the road. And they got the hood of their car up and they're looking in the hood of their car. And what do you do when you see that? You just drive by, don't you? We all do. I see people broke down on the side of the road and we just keep on driving, don't we? Put a 1 in the chat if that's true. You've seen someone on the side of the road, they're broke down and they got their hood up and you just keep on driving. Put a 1 in the chat. You just drive by, don't you? Now, change that scenario ever so slightly. Change it ever so slightly to we don't stop. And so now you take that person who broke down on the side of the road, but this time they're pushing their car and they're by themselves and it's one person and they're pushing their car as hard as they can and they're pushing their car. And what happens? 2 or 3 other people pull their car over, get out of the car and go and help the person pushing their car. You might be one of those people that when you saw someone struggling, you said, you know what? I'm gonna keep pushing this car. No way. Say it ain't so, Joe. Say it ain't so. Fudge. Fudge. You know as well as I do, when you see someone pushing their car on the side of the road, you're much more likely to jump out of your car and help them. Whereas when you see someone parked on the side of the road and the hood is up on their car and they're sitting there frustrated, very few people will pull over. Whereas if they're pushing the car and they're just pushing the car at 1 mile an hour, it's barely even moving, all kinds of people will jump out to help them. We don't stop. We don't stop. We don't quit. We don't give up. We don't say die. We never, ever, ever surrender. Never. And we will fight for our rights. And we will not stop until we get our constitutional Bill of Rights reestablished. Right or wrong? This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. I'm talking about you as a human being. I'm talking about your moniker, your oath to yourself. We don't stop. Use it constantly. Never forget it. You went on YouTube, you saw some guy, he was a little crazy, but he gave this speech and he explained that when you sit on the side of the road in a broke down car, very few people pull over. But if you start to push that car even one step every 10 seconds, people will jump out of their car to help you. That's what I'm talking about. You have to be that self-starter for yourself. You have to be that spark that gets yourself going. It has to be you. If not you, then who? It has to be you that's willing to fight. And that's what we are. That's what we are. We are the human race, and we are the most amazing, empathetic, loving, sensitive creatures on all of Earth. And we will not stop until we win. We won't stop. And we will band together until we get there. But it starts with each and every one of you individually, where you say in your heart, you say in your mind every day, we don't stop. And then once you get up and you start pushing that car, it's amazing how other people jump in to help you. But you gotta push the car on your own a little bit sometimes, don't you? Every once in a while, life is so freaking hard that you have to push that car all by yourself. That could be your autistic kid that you have to help for the rest of their lives. That could be the job you gotta go to that you don't wanna go to. That could be a bill you gotta pay that you're just stressing, oh man, I gotta pay this. We don't stop. Put it in the comment section. We don't stop. Put it in the comment section. We don't stop. And I mean it. I mean it from the bottom of my heart. I've been pushing the car here, building this thing. And you know what's happened miraculously? People who are in this chat right now have jumped in with both feet. Because we have to create apparatuses. We have to create educational systems for each other. We will help each other. We have to. We have no choice. So anyway, I know. I'm going off on a tangent here. I just wanted to make sure that we were all on the same page, you know. Just wanted to make sure we were all thinking the same thoughts. There it is. 1 second, I'm just checking something on my other phone here real quick. There it is. Okie dokie. I got 30 minutes more of rapping with y'all. 30 minutes more. Is that Alpha DLZ in the chat? What's up, Playboy? What's up with the Playboy? I got 30 minutes more of driving here. So we're going to be rapping for a couple minutes. We'll be rapping for a couple of minutes. It's good to see everybody, man. I missed you guys. I really did. And I wanted to go live today on my way to the print shop. I'm not going to get these prints today, but that's okay. That's okay. I'll probably get them tomorrow or Monday. I guess I missed them. I think they got out of there right at 3 o'clock, and it's 3:02 right now, so I missed them. What a bummer. What an absolute bummer. That's all right. That's okay. I want to get these prints on the wall so I can start teaching Constitution headquarters. I can't wait. I can't wait. I'm so excited. And you know, I spend a lot of my time just studying right now. There's 7 articles of the Constitution. Well, Article 1 of the 7 articles, Article 1, I think there's 4,400 words in the United States Constitution. Article 1 is 2,200 of those words. And so it's the biggest section. And so I've just spent a lot of time memorizing Article 1. Sometimes I sit there on ChatGPT and I'll sit there and talk back and forth with ChatGPT for hours and hours where I run out of time and it says, hey, you've exceeded the maximum amount of time you can talk to ChatGPT, and it wants me to upgrade to that $200 a month system. And I'm like, no, I'm not doing it. I'm not spending $200 a month. I can't right now. Cannot right now. Cannot. And then have you guys been sharing the overnight parking, what I call it? The overnight rest compliance notice. That's on my website. It's free for people who are living in their cars. Make sure you guys download the overnight rest compliance notice. It's on DeleteLawz.com. If you're sleeping in your car and you take 5 seconds to fill out the overnight rest compliance notice, then what that will do for you is it'll make it so that if you got some jackboot thug pig that comes up to harass you, it'll make it so that you don't have to deal with a pig who doesn't understand your rights and doesn't understand the law and doesn't understand exactly what you're going through. And there are millions of people who are sleeping in their car. As I'm building this board game, as I'm building this website that bails people out of jail, as I'm doing these things, I created the overnight rest compliance notice because I have an internet friend who had emailed me several times about my case ongoing in Ironton, Ohio, and asked me some questions. And as I spoke to the individual on email, I remember thinking that this same person used to sleep in their car and they're no longer sleeping in their car. But I thought to myself, man, that guy got harassed and ended up suing the cops for the harassment that he got while he was sleeping in his car. So on my website, you can download for free the overnight rest compliance notice. And if you know someone who's sleeping in their car, download the overnight arrest compliance notice from DeleteLawz.com, print off 20 copies and give him 20 copies so that way he can fill in where he's staying, and then it gives direct statements as to the reasons why he's allowed to park in that space. Forgive me, let me drive here for a second. Overnight arrest compliance notice. It is on DeleteLawz.com so that people don't get harassed in their car. You never know, I'm driving along here. We might get a copper who pulls somebody over. And if we do, as you guys know, I have this sick addiction where as soon as I see it, I got to jump out and film that dirty copper. Not all of them are filthy, dirty coppers, just most of them. Just most. We don't stop, mofo. And I'm not ever gonna stop. It's funny, someone sent me a video from when I was in Ironton, Ohio 3 years ago. They sent me this video, and the exact same thing I'm saying now is what I was saying on that video when I was driving between West Virginia and Ohio. We don't stop. I was saying the exact same thing. And to be honest with you, until we get the change that we need, until we get our Fourth Amendment back, we can't stop. And this administration, this dumpster fire, has gone against our First Amendment, our Second Amendment, our Fourth Amendment, our Fifth Amendment, our Sixth Amendment, our 14th Amendment, our Ninth Amendment. It's just been a horrible thing to witness and to see. But I think what it'll do over time is galvanize our movement of people who want to hold police accountable, that want to get rid of corrupt government officials. Yeah, shout out to Lane Meyer. Free Lane Myers, everybody. Free Lane Myers. Sorry to hear that. And then I have an audio recording coming out from Craig Hendry. And I met a guy the other day. I'm not going to say anything else. I'll release that video in the next 24 hours. But Craig Hendry, I spoke to him the other day on the phone for about 20 minutes. Craig Hendry is still in the dungeon. What he wants me to do, and what he requested that I do, is he asked me if I would create a GoFundMe for him. And so, because I don't want to get donations in my PayPal, Cash App, and Venmo, unless it's people like Gary Bryant who are sending me money to put money on his books or to put books in his hand, physical books. But what Craig Hendry wants me to do is create a GoFundMe for him, because after his jail time is over in this particular jail, he has another charge against him where there's a $12,000 bond. And what he wants to do is he wants me to create a GoFundMe so that when he does get out of the dungeon in the next few months, that we have that GoFundMe bond ready for him so that we can pay that other $12,000 bond so that he can go home and see his kids and see his wife. So obviously, between the myriad of things that I'm doing, I have not done that yet, but I will. I will here, but before Monday, I will have created a GoFundMe for Craig Hendry, and I will release the audio of the phone call that we had a couple days ago. So, yep. I can't see the comments. I'm really sorry. I can't. I can't see what everybody is saying. It's just I got my car on autopilot, so I don't have to touch the wheel. I don't have to touch the gas or the brake. So my car's gonna be completely on self-drive mode here. But it's just every time I think about Craig Hendry, it makes me so mad. I wish I could do more for him, to be honest, because if you've never seen someone if you guys follow what I went through, I was railroaded for sure. That dirty Judge Zimmerman put me in jail, and in the history of her time being a judge, she's never put anybody in jail for obstruction. So I got railroaded pretty hard and spent 4 months in the dungeon. And Craig Hendry right now is spending months and months and months in a dungeon, and he's done nothing wrong other than try to hold public officials accountable when they act outside of their duties and outside of the law. And it's really sad when I talk to Craig, and I got my phone. If you guys know me, if y'all know me, and there's a few of you in here who definitely know me. Did everybody hit the like button? Hit the like, double tap on your screen, double tap, double tap, double tap, double tap, double tap right on your screen. There's a few of you in here who know me, and my phone doesn't ever ring, ding, beep, never makes a sound, doesn't vibrate. I just can't. I remember a few years ago when I learned that when people got a like or a comment, or when someone DM'd them, that you would get this dopamine hit in your brain. I thought to myself, I don't want my pleasure center of my brain, what makes me happy, I don't want that dopamine hit in my brain to be based on whether or not someone liked my video or put a comment on my video. I didn't want that. I didn't want it. And so as soon as I started to make videos, I turned off my ringers 5 years ago now. I turned off my ringers in 2020, and I don't think I'll ever turn them back on. The only thing that bums me out is sometimes I miss Craig Henry's phone calls. So that's the only thing that kind of gets me like, ugh, I wish I could have my ringer on just so I could catch his phone calls. Because everybody else, I can call you right back. I can get right back to you. And I usually get back to with everybody within 24 hours. I still check all my emails, or my cousin does, or my assistant does, but I'm always still involved. And by the way, you know, through my AI team, through the team of people that we've put together here, if you're great at ChatGPT, if you're great at DeepSeek, reach out to me and you can join our AI team, where we are teaching people online how to write their own motions, how to write demand for body camera, how to write demand for return of property, how to file their own federal civil rights lawsuits using artificial intelligence. I want to do a video on it, but I don't want to stop what I'm doing to make a video on it. I want to finish this board game. There's several, I mean, there's a lot of people who pre-ordered my board game, and I want to get this board game done. That's my top priority. But you know, if you guys are so inclined, you know, shout out for Craig Henry, shout out for Lane Myers. I'm sorry for those two guys, man. Those two guys are living in a dungeon right now, and it's every single day in the dungeon is like a month. Every day, well, I mean, I would say every day is like a week, because you go through different patterns in jail where you have to get up at 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, and then you eat breakfast around then, and then they do pill call, they do med call, and then after that, you take a nap for a few hours, and I would overdose on the chocolate and chips that you guys sent me. That's how I got so fat. And then after that, I get time to read and to study, which is all I did in the dungeon. And then after that, you have this horrible lunch, which most of the time I skipped, I gave away, or I traded. And then I would eat Snickers bars and Twix bars that you guys sent to me when I was in jail. And then you go to sleep again. You try to sleep as much as you possibly can when you're in the dungeon. Every day, if you can, but that's the worst part, is you can never really get solid sleep, because there's people around you that you have to be mindful of, because you could get hurt while you're sleeping. You could be attacked while you're sleeping. And I saw it. There was people who got attacked when they were sleeping. So it makes it so that you can't really fully rest even when you're asleep. Anybody been in jail before? Does anybody remember jail? Anybody remember jail? If you've been to jail before, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's a fucking hellhole, dude. It is a hellhole. It is horrifically bad. It is the worst position to ever be in. It is horrible. And that's what jail is. It's just absolutely horrible. I'm trying to see some of the comments. Yeah, one eye open all the time, Rancho Relaxo. What's up, Playboy? What's going on, Playboy? Alpha Wolf 1, what is up? Oh, I liked Alpha Wolf DLZ, but I don't know what happened. You changed your name again, Alpha Wolf? Oh man, I'll tell you what, you son of a bitch. So I think BZ Watchdog and I collaborated on, I'm gonna release that video, BZ. When I got your WeTransfer last night, if BZ Watchdog is in here, when I got your WeTransfer last night, I was exhausted. I worked until 3 o'clock in the morning, and then I got up at 9. So I got 6 hours of sleep last night, which is more than I got for most nights of this week. But I feel great. I still feel great. You know what I'm doing to keep my energy up even when I'm not getting a lot of sleep is I'm max dosing on creatine. I'm doing tons of creatine. And I tell you, it really helps. And I've been watching so many videos, listening to videos in the background as I continue to build out the wall of creatine. And creatine really helps you, especially if you don't get a lot of sleep. Creatine is one of these miracle things that helps you so much. I just did 5 milligrams or 7 milligrams before I left, and now I'm heading back. I'm heading back. Heading back. Yep. It's funny, as I do the study of case law, because every single day I'm learning about more case law I didn't know before. You know, Brown versus Polk County, I believe it's 2023, Brown versus Polk County, where the guard said that they could cavity search you if they had information from other inmates that you may have something in your cavity. That case, Brown versus Polk County, and it's out of Wisconsin. I can't remember if it's 2021 or 2023, but Brown versus Polk County is one of those cases. It's an extension of, guess which case? Terry versus Ohio. Without Terry versus Ohio, there's no Brown versus Polk County. Without Terry versus Ohio, there's no cavity searches in the dungeon because the guards say they have reasonable articulable suspicion. Logan, thanks for the super chat, man. I can barely read, but thank you, dude. I appreciate the support. I really do, man. I really, really do. I really appreciate it, man. I really do. I really do, dude. It's been a topsy-turvy last couple months. If it wasn't for a couple people in this chat, I wouldn't have made it this far. There's a couple people in the chat that well, you know, they've come in and helped in a big way, and I'm nothing but grateful, and I can't wait to get these things launched. I really can't. And as you guys can see, if I just do one channel and I go in vertical, there's tons of people come through here. So it's just, we just got to get going again. That's all. And I'm not really going to get going again until the board game is done. I'm not really going to go hard in the paint until that board game is complete, because there's so many people who've already pre-ordered the board game. I have to finish this no matter what. Even if people say, oh, your channel's not getting any views, I'm not dead yet. As long as we keep on standing, as long as there's people like Logan, as long as there's people like Lou, like Letzo TVO, like Chuck, like Tim Clark, as long as there's people like you guys, then I got nothing to worry about. You know, I just have to finish what we started. You know what I mean? You heard that before, right? It doesn't matter if you like doing it. If you joined it, you finish it. That's the way I was raised. My aunt and uncle were so diehard about that. If I started anything, I had to finish it. And that principle that my aunt and uncle taught me when I was in adolescence really has carried over into my adult life. I have to finish things that I start. It's like Jiminy Cricket on your shoulder, in your ear, telling you, come on, dude, you got to finish. And then if I turn away and I plug my ear, then he gets in my other ear. You got to finish. You got to finish. So that's right where I'm at. Gloria's here, everybody. What's going on? Who's Team DLZ? Who's in the chat? Can you put Team DLZ so I can give some shout outs here and say hello to some people? I saw Rancho. I saw Gloria. I saw Alpha Wolf. Used to be Alpha DLZ. I like that better, Alpha DLZ. But Alpha Wolf is cool too. And West, what's going on, my friend? How are you? Good to see you. Butch, the original. Hey, Butch, did you know that we have another lawsuit going against Ironton, Ohio? You can look it up on Pacer. You can look it up. We don't stop. Yeah. And these guys think that they're going to res judicata me. But the thing is that res judicata can be overcome if your claims were not adjudicated. So let me explain it to you. So I sued Ironton, Ohio, and then the corruption of the judges in America, you almost always lose in district court. So is that judge corrupt who dismissed my case? I don't know. Could be. It's very strange how most people lose in district court and they have to appeal to the appellate side of the court or to the circuit court. So I sued Ironton, Ohio 3 years ago, almost 3 years ago, and then the case was dismissed by the judge, and the merits of the case were not adjudicated. So then I filed another lawsuit when I was living in Nevada against Ironton, Ohio, against Lawrence County, and against the Ironton Police Department. Alpha, what's up, Playboy, with the huge super chat, $100. Holy smokes. Alpha, you're amazing. Thank you so much. Thanks for the super chat. That's absolutely awesome. Right on. So I sued Ironton, Ohio. Do I have Brandy Swaney in here too? I didn't. I text with Brandy earlier. Thanks so much, Alpha Wolf, for the $100 super chat. That's huge, man. I really appreciate you, dude. Thanks a lot. So I sued Ironton, Ohio, and then the judge, who could or could not be on the side of the police, on the side of the state, you be the judge of that. The judge dismissed my case from Ironton, Ohio without prejudice, meaning that I could still sue them. He didn't dismiss the case with prejudice. So when I sued them again recently, the defense attorney there, which is Don Frick and Lambert, and they had to hire a Nevada attorney because I sued out of Nevada, they filed a motion to dismiss the case using something called res, and then judicata, Judicata, res judicata. Well, that's cool. They can file that motion to dismiss using res judicata. But the thing is that res judicata can be overcome if the claims that you filed in the first federal civil rights lawsuit were not adjudicated. In other words, if the merits of the claims that you filed were not flushed out through adjudication, then you can refile those claims. So I think you guys are going to lose on this. I think that I'm going to overcome res judicata. Now remember, I'm still dealing with judges in Ohio. And as you know, there's a lot of judges, maybe these judges are not, but there's a lot of judges who are 100% on the side of the cops, 100% on the side of the state. Do you agree with that? I mean, Jeff hates pigs. Do you agree with that? Jeff hates pigs is in the room, everybody. Thanks again, Alpha Wolf, for the gigantic super chat. God bless you, dude. So, res judicata is something right now. I just now recently filed a motion for an enlargement of time. And then what I'm going to do next is I'm going to overcome their res judicata motion to dismiss. But I just downloaded recently, a friend of mine sent me over the ruling from Pacer. So I'm looking forward to working on that. And remember, if you are a whiz at AI, if you're super good at ChatGPT, if you're super good at DeepSeek, if you're super good using Grok, reach out to me and join my behind the scenes AI team, where we are helping people all over the country. I helped no less than 6 people yesterday using artificial intelligence and showed them how to do it. And they're doing, you know, it's all. I'm not practicing any law at all. I can't practice law without a license. What I can do though is teach you how to use ChatGPT to write your own motion. That's what I can do. And that's what I'm doing. So if you guys don't know, that's what I'm doing. I'm gonna help this guy. I can't say anything, I signed an NDA, but I'm gonna help this guy who's on the Western United States, who's in the Western United States. I'm gonna help you, brother, and we're gonna get your gun rights back. We're gonna get your gun rights back, because it's really weird, because here's how it works. For you to lose your gun rights in America, all that has to happen is you have to be charged with any form of domestic violence. If your boyfriend or girlfriend says that you hurt them and the cops charge you with domestic violence, then you can lose your gun rights. However, in this particular case, this gentleman was charged with domestic violence, and then he was charged with basic battery, and then he was charged with resisting. I believe those were the 3 charges. The domestic violence charge was dropped. And so then when I really looked into it, come to find out that the basic battery charge that he was charged with doesn't strip away your gun rights. And then the resisting arrest, I believe it was resisting arrest, the resisting arrest charge that he was charged with, that he was convicted of, doesn't strip away your gun rights. So when he went to go buy a firearm, what happened was he got a letter from the ATF in his email said that he had lost his gun rights because of a domestic violence charge. Well, you can't have your, number one, to strip away your rights for a domestic violence charge. I don't understand how that's a thing. I mean, I get it. There are psychos out there who beat their wives and beat their husbands and they kill each other. But it's a small percentage in the grand scheme of how many people are charged with domestic violence. You can get charged with domestic violence because the neighbors call and you're having a screaming match with your husband or wife or boyfriend or girlfriend. So anyway, this guy was charged with domestic violence and the charge was dropped because it wasn't true. So when I looked into it further, and it took me about 30 minutes, I think. When we looked into it further, we then found out that we can file with the FBI NCIC, which is the ATF, and we can restore this guy's gun rights within the next 30 to 60 days. So that's exactly what we're doing. We're going through the process right now, and I'm going to help tons of people. And I'm also like farming out. I'm saying, hey, I don't have time to do this right now. Let me send this over to Tim, who's amazing at AI, and then Tim can help this person. Tim can help Joe, or Sarah can help Billy, or the basic understanding of just using names without any identifiers behind them. So if my brother is listening, who lives on the Western Hemisphere of the United States, if my brother is listening, I did more research last night after we talked. It looks like you're going to have your gun rights restored really quickly. We got to do a couple steps here. You got to get the certified copies of your convictions from the courthouse. And then we got to get that letter sent off to the FBI NCIC. And then what's going on, Eddie? What is going on? Eddie, if you didn't know, you've entered into a room that is a police accountability, government accountability team of people. And there are people in here who are die hard, Eddie, die hard. And then the other thing that's going on right now is they're pushing for you to get the real ID. I made a short last night. I sat there in front of my computer. It made me so mad that people were so dense. Let me ask you a question. Why do you got to get a real ID? What do you think is in the real ID? You think there's a chip in the real ID? You think there's a tracking chip in that real ID? I'm just wondering, what do you think? Do you think that there's an audio part of it? Can they hear you through the real ID? Because there's listening devices now that don't have any slots or slats or nothing, just a little piece of metal. So do you think that real ID has a tracking device in it that tracks you? Just wondering. Do you think? I mean, I'm not going to get the real ID. If I can't fly, when I go to fly after May, then I'm going to sue the federal government because I don't want to get a real ID. I don't know what's in it. And I think that there's an RIFD chip inside of the real ID. That's what I think. That's what I think. That's what I think. I think that there's a tracking device inside of the real ID. That's what I believe. I'm allowed to believe that. I'm not going to get it. I'm not going to go get the real ID. I'm not interested in it. I don't know how the government tracking me keeps me safer. I don't really agree with that. Do you agree with that? I'm 99.9. Matter of fact, I'll tell you what I would do. I would bet a finger. I would bet my little pinky finger that there's a tracking device in the real ID. What do you think? What do you guys think? Sound off in the comment section. Let me know. There's a tracking device in seatbelts? No, say it ain't so. I hope there's not a tracking device in seatbelts. If there's a tracking device in the seatbelt, I'm screwed. It's on me. It's on me. The tracking device. If the tracking device is in the seatbelt, I'm cooked. It's got me. So I'm not getting it. Me personally, not doing it. I would rather drive anyway. I would rather drive than fly most of the time. I like the drive. I enjoy it. And sometimes I throw a little bed back here. I put like a nice thick mattress back there and travel. But the thing is you can't travel in a van for more than a day or two before you got to get an Airbnb. It's not possible. I did it in 2021 when I drove across the country and back twice, from California to Maine and back twice. You can't really, I drove down to Florida. I drove to Maine. I drove as far north as West Virginia, Ohio. I drove as far north as Maine. And then in the Midwest, did I drive through Minnesota? I can't remember. I don't think I did. I think the furthest north I went was to Colorado in the Midwest. And then on the West Coast, I didn't go up to Washington or Oregon. But yeah, I slept right here several times, but not more than for 1 or 2 nights. And after 1 or 2 nights of sleeping in your car, you got to get a hotel or an Airbnb. It's just, I mean, maybe if you're 18, 19, 22, you can sleep in your car more than 1 night, but it's really rough. Just making coffee in the morning, just getting your teeth brushed, the process of being able to function properly is almost impossible when you sleep in your car and you're driving across the country. So and thankfully, you know, there's people who are patriots in this country who absolutely love watching the cops be put on notice that we're watching them and we're filming them. So when I drove across the country, I would get super chats and I would get cash apps and Venmos, and I would just get an Airbnb. And the people really kept me alive when I was traveling through the country in 2021. It was amazing. And there's a couple individual people, I'm not going to say their names, but there's a couple individual people who really were like angels on my shoulder when I was traveling across the country in 2021. So yeah, listen, so a lot of you guys, if you watch my videos, a lot of people ask me to send them free trifolds and cop cards, and I do. I send off a ton. I mail them off free trifolds and free cop cards and stuff. But what I'm doing now is, if people want free trifolds and free cop cards, you got to drop 100 comments. You got to drop 100 likes. You got to watch 100 videos. You know, I really need that support and help while I'm not going live constantly on my channel, you know, because I got to make sure we keep this channel alive for another week until this board game is done. And then when we come back in a big way, you know, I'm pretty excited about going back onto TikTok and teaching on TikTok. It's pretty exciting. It's you know, the folks on TikTok really love to learn. I think more than on YouTube. You know, I think more than on YouTube. People love to learn on the TikTok Rick Rock. And I'm going to teach you something that you didn't know yesterday every single day. Day in and day out. You know, I really woulda, coulda, shoulda been a high school civics teacher, high school history teacher, but it's not how it worked out. It's not the way it went. What's up, Playboy? What's up, Playboy? Some kid running across the street. So, Maria, what's up, Playboy? What is going on? What is going on? Yeah, there's Christopher Fox said that. No, listen, this team that you just walked into, Christopher, this group of people right here in this room, we're dedicated to it. I mean, I know it. I know the people in this room are dedicated to what we're doing. So I can't wait to show you guys. I can't wait to show you guys. There's a few people, Letso TVO, he knows what we're doing. There's people really deeply involved with what we're doing right now. And I cannot wait to finish this. The props are almost done. I've got Danelle Brown, what's up, Playboy? I'm gonna send you some money right after this. Danelle Brown is my conduit to sending people in jail and prison money. And Danelle Brown knows. Danelle, you can tell the people if you want. Through her account that she set up on Jail ATM, we have sent off thousands of dollars to people who are in jails and prisons. No, really, we actually have. I mean, we have the receipts for it. Because people like, there's a guy named Gary Bryant, and what he'll do is I'll get a PayPal, and I think Gary Bryant sent me a PayPal yesterday for 25 bucks, and he put on there Hendry. So what we do is I just take that money. If you guys put a donation into me and it says Hendry on it, then I just send it to Craig Hendry, and Danelle Brown is my conduit to do that. I don't have a GL ATM account, and she does. And she's also put money on my books when I was in the dungeon. Just like Plead the Fifth. Holy smokes, if you guys don't know what Plead the Fifth did for me when I was in jail. Plead the Fifth, I love you if you're out there. If you can hear this, Plead the Fifth, thank you so much for what you did for me when I was in jail. I can never thank Plead the Fifth enough for what he did for me when I was in that dungeon. I just, you guys, you really don't understand. And so many of you also that are in here in this room right now who helped me so much when they locked me away unlawfully and unjustly. From the bottom of my heart, every person who donated to my GoFundMe when I was in the dungeon for my appeal, every person who put money on my books, every person who sent me gift packages when I was in jail. And, you know, Here's the Deal and his wife, Trish, Brian from Here's the Deal and his wife, Trish, not only did they do fundraisers for me and host on my channel, Trish sent me money, put hundreds of dollars on my books. Brian put money on my books, put money on my phone. You know, my friend Condon over in West LA, his son put money on my books, money on my phone. And so all I'm doing right now by helping Craig Henry, and I don't know how to put any money on Lane Meyer's books, but if you guys want to look into it, I know we miss Plead the Fifth so much. Plead the Fifth and I are still in touch. So that person is just, thank you so much for being you, Plead the Fifth. But the reason why we continue to help Craig Henry and continue to put money, and Danelle, after this live stream's over, I'm going to send you $50 more to put on Craig Henry's books. The reason why, well, I would do it if you guys didn't do it for me, but the reason why I feel like this calling or this duty to help Craig Henry, who's wrongfully incarcerated in Indiana, is because so many of you did that for me. I wouldn't have been able to afford everything that you guys funded for me when I was in jail. And my conviction was overturned on appeal. But if you go on TikTok, Rick Rock, you'll see that hundreds and hundreds of people pretend to be me and take my videos, and it's surreal. But you'll see that in the comment section, people are like, oh, that guy was crying in jail. He's still in jail. Yeah, when you see what I saw and you get treated like I got treated, you might be crying in jail too. Everybody's so tough. I would never, until you think you're going to be murdered, until you think you're going to leave the courtroom and you're going to die as soon as you leave, which is what I thought. So, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. It is what it is. Yeah, if you guys don't have a trifold in your car, you 100%, let me hide my personal information here. I got my, there you go. Let me hide that like that. You should 100%, I'm gonna hide my personal information on the top of this bad chicken real quick. Okay, it's hidden. Kinda, there we go. Okay, you should have your trifold up in your visor. See how my hand's right here? Trifold's up in your visor. Trifold goes up in your visor. Get the trifold on DeleteLawz.com. And then for your passenger, check it out. You got your passenger card right there. You got your passenger card right there. Do you see it? There it is right there. You don't want your passenger picking you up when you're dealing with the jackboot thug pig. That's why I'm always like, yo, dude, you make sure you use the passenger card. Do you hear me, Charlie? You make sure you use the passenger card. Do you hear me? You don't say a damn word to those dirty pigs. You understand, Charlie? Do you understand? Do you understand? Let me see. Show them. Let me see. Let me see. We don't stop, Playboy. We don't stop. So anyway, if you guys do any donations, you put Henry on them, I'll send them over to Craig Henry. Jeff hates pigs. Jeff hates pigs. So make sure you have your trifold here. I got two up here. And make sure you have your passenger card there. Make sure that you're set up for success. And I'm going to do a bunch of stuff to teach people how to use their trifold in a car. Wait till you see what we got coming out. Wait till you see what we got coming out, Playboy. All right, I got to get the flock out of here. I got to get back to work. Thanks for coming, everybody. Danelle Brown, Knight, thank you, my Asian friend. I appreciate it. For the glory of Christ. God bless you, my friend. Thank you for coming. Rancho, Mikey B. Mikey, I got to say, it was Bruce and Greg in here too. I didn't see Bruce and Greg. Alpha Wolf, thanks for the gigantic super chat. Thank you so much. I love you to death, man. Thank you so much, brother. I really appreciate you. Big Johnson Delivery Service. Gloria, good to see you. Miami Wick, Let's OTVO. I got a phone call coming for you. Give me about 15 minutes. Let me get a couple things done. Let's OTVO, and I'll give you a call. Ivan, Gloria, Dar. All right, listen, I got to get the flock out of here. Fixie Bones, OTVO. Put in the chat, OTVO. I'll see you guys in the next one.